He came for the saints and the sinners. Game clock hit the shot for the winner. Hit it for
this thing straight. Oh, anyways. Hi lovely people, welcome back to my channel, and it's even a joke to be honest. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've not watched my first video, so go and watch my first video. It's not hard to find, don't have many videos on here, and you'll know what I'm talking about. So welcome back to my returners. If it's your first time here, you are welcome to the family. I don't know what the name of the family is, but you are still very welcome. I actually have a topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys today, and I got my laptop because I want to make sure I give you guys quality bad boy piece of information. So I don't want to miss anything out. So if you see me looking here, it's because I've got some notes of different things I want to talk about. So to start it off, it just begins when, most people that have graduated might be able to relate to this. I graduated more than a few years ago now, actually. And even graduation was very anticlimactic for me. I thought I was going to be transformed. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, when I graduated, I got a job. It wasn't really hard to get a job because I qualified in occupational therapy. That's what I trained in. So getting a job wasn't the most difficult part. I was working. Being an OT in itself is not even a problem. Quite enjoy it actually. So there was a certain time when I had a job. After a few years, I'd been working as an OT, and I could see there was a shift in me. What I mean by shift is that it was a realization that this is not my forever. There's many people that qualify in something, they do that job for the rest of their life until they die. There's no progression. It's just comfort. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort is the absolute enemy. So I started to feel that, and I knew this was not in alignment. I was not in alignment with who God's called me to be. So I was feeling that I was getting comfortable, and I didn't really like it. So this job that I had, and I was working 5 days a week. Like, God bless you guys that do that, but it's actually not my portion. Like, I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. And I came from a place of working 4 days. So going back to 5 days, it just felt like extra for me, and I just couldn't do it. Now, from my point of view, it's because my life is quite active. There's a lot of things that I get up to. There's a lot of things that I do. Someone even said to me the other day, made me laugh. He said, Stace, you do a lot of things. And I was like, yeah, I actually do a lot of things. Some people like the life of they just chill, they just do their job, they come home, make a cup of tea. That's literally not me. So 5 days a week was difficult for me because if you imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm at work. 6, I'm doing my house girl stuff. That's like your cooking, your cleaning, your laundry, your food shop, whatever it may be, your any things that you need to go, any errands that you need to do, you do that one day. Another day, you're in church. Like, that's it. All my 7 days gone. And I did this for a while and I was thinking, Lord, this is not me. This is not me. Where's the time for extra curriculum activities? That was not even on the menu at that time. So I was there for a minute and I started to change within myself. Like, I almost became, in a weird way, like a shell of myself because it wasn't me. I didn't know that I was not liking where I was, but I didn't have time to even reflect. So the first issue you can have when you're feeling lost is that you don't even know that you're lost. I was definitely lost. I was definitely lost, but I didn't know that I was lost, which makes it even more scary. Like, I remember when I was younger, I think I must have been like 6 years old, and I got lost in Tesco. That's like a supermarket. With my parents, and wandering eye, la la la, having the time of my life. And I don't know how I ended up where I ended up, but I turned around and where's mom and dad? Couldn't find them. I was lost, and all that fun just stopped. I was thinking, wow, what am I gonna do as a 6 year old? Like, I grew up. I suddenly became 10 or something. I don't know, but I grew up very quickly in that short space of time. Obviously, my parents found me because yeah, they found me, but in that time of me being lost in Tesco, I didn't realize I was lost until I looked at my surroundings. Same way when I was in this job, I didn't know I was lost until I stopped and did some self reflection and looked at my surroundings. And I realized I didn't like how my life was at that moment in time. I was not depressed. I was none of that. Never. That's not even in my vocab. That was not even the case. I just didn't like where I was in life. And there's a difference of not liking where you are in life and knowing that there's more for you in life. And you definitely, absolutely, definitely that there was more to life than what I was living. I felt like I didn't have any time to actually break free because 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm working. Saturday, house girl duties. Sunday, church. Repeat, repeat. I didn't even have time to think because I almost became like a robot. It just became something that I just kept on doing. And I knew that, oh, I'm actually upset my tea's finished now. Um, I knew that there was more. There is more. That's what I want to say to you guys. There is more. Don't be living a mundane life. There is more to life than what you see right now. So the only way that I could start to actually objectively look at my life is I had to implement self-reflection, which I wasn't implementing before. And that came through the form of journaling, which I thank God someone actually told me to start journaling. I was like, me, journaling? Never. Like, I never grew up journaling because I didn't actually, let me tell the truth. I thought it was geeky. So I was like, I ain't trying to do that. Journaling. But I started journaling and I even felt like an imposter on my journal. I was like, should I be here? Diary. So I started journaling, but it helped me to self reflect and it helped me to look at my life objectively to say, okay, Stace, this is your life. What's it looking like? Where do you want your life to be? What's stopping you from getting to that place? What things do you have to do to grow? What skills? All of those things come about. And I would recommend totally everyone needs to journal. It is not geeky. I've tried it and I can confirm that it's not geeky. So I apologize to other people who used to journal back in the day and I thought they were geeks doing it. So you're obviously not a geek because, yeah. So journaling. And the main reason that I didn't like the 5 day week thing, not saying there's anything wrong with it. Many people, it works fantastic for them. God bless you guys. It just didn't work for me. I was out of alignment with who I am meant to be or who I've been called to be because I didn't have a work life balance. Like I said, my life is active. I am busy. If you know me, you know I'm busy. There's many things I need to do. Yeah. So I didn't have the work life balance. I didn't have the balance. I didn't have it. So I had to check myself. So that came through self reflection. Through self reflection, I knew that, okay, God has plans for me. I don't know the entirety of, I don't know everything. I don't know absolutely 100% every single detail of the plans, but I know He's got better plans for me. For He said, I know the plans that I have for you. So I said, okay, I know God's got plans for me, yeah. And I know I have talent. But the way this talent is leading me, if I find that video, I'm going to put it in right here so you know what I'm talking about.
What on earth is wrong with me? I'm sure I have talent, but where my talent is.
So I said, where's this talent leading me? Like, I know there's more for me. I remember asking a lady actually where I used to work, that place that I used to work, and I said to her, do you like it here? I remember asking a few people, I was almost doing a survey, like primary research or something, because I said, it's impossible that you can like this. I was convinced. So I needed to prove it. So I remember saying to the lady, I was like, do you like it here? And she goes, no. And in my head, I really deep something. I said, Lord, this can't be my story. How can you not like it? And she'd been there like 20 plus years. How can you not like it yet you're still there? I said, no, 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 no. See you later. No, that is not my portion. Never. Not my portion in Jesus' name, man. No, just no. Many people are in that situation, guys. Many people are not content in the job or the space that they're in, yet they don't want to do anything about it. Because why? Because it's comfortable. Let me tell you something. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort is the enemy. You know the children of Israel, they were crying, get me out of Egypt, get me out of Egypt, yeah. Day one of being out of Egypt, yeah. They're like, yo, where's the food? Where's this? Where's that? Oh, and because it was looking long, they were like, oh, we might as well go back to Egypt. Excuse me, were you not slaves over there? It was comfortable for them. It was comfortable for them. I couldn't get in my head how you cannot like something, but you don't want to do anything about it because you're comfortable with the paycheck. Let me tell you something now, guys. They will only give you enough money for you to come back the next day. I said, Lord, this is not my story. This is not my story. When you think about what they're going to write at your, this sounds, well, gone very dark very quick. But think about, God forbid, you're not dying in Jesus' name right now. You'll be alive, you'll fulfill your purpose, all of that stuff. But think about what they will say at your funeral. Is it going to be exciting? Or is it just going to be, she worked for 30 years in a job that she didn't like? And, bro, is this how you want to live your life? You've got one life on this earth. Is this how you want to live it? I said, no. So, pack your bags, see you later. So that's what I did. Pack my bags. I had to get out of there. Freedom comes with responsibility, guys. If you truly want to get out of that feeling lost mentality, it comes with responsibility. The same way the Israelites didn't know that coming out of Egypt came with responsibility is the same. Like, you can feel lost, you know you're surrounded, now you know that you're lost. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to be responsible and say there's more to this life than what I see here and do something about it? Or are you going to prefer being comfortable and stay exactly where you are? No progression, stagnation, and cry about your circumstance. What I was saying the other day, have I put this on? I don't know if I put on Instagram yet. No. Anyways, what it's a video I've done to be posted on Instagram if I've not posted it yet. Is your circumstance the last part of that word stance? You are standing. You are standing. You need to move to change your circumstance. That's the circle, and you're in the middle of it. Stop standing and start moving. Start making changes. Start changing your life. Everyone's praying, God, change my life, this and that. God's waiting for you to move. You play the first move, He does the second move. You can't move something that doesn't want to move. It's not a forceful God, man. It doesn't happen. Anyways, totally lost track. Freedom comes with responsibility. So, the second thing that I had to do is I realized that feeling lost thing, like, it can affect more than just your job and your whatever, your life, your work life balance. I noticed I wasn't really taking good care of myself in terms of the gym was not seeing me. Just because I was fatigued. I was literally tired because you're working like graveyard shifts. You get home, you're tired. You don't even cook properly because you have to get up early the next day. So whatever you eat doesn't even make sense. Even your body is confused, like, I know better than this. But you're eating things that are not making sense. You're not eating at sensible times. You're not working out because you don't have time or you're constantly fatigued. You literally don't have space to do these self care activities, the extracurriculum activities that I was saying. Those are not my only extracurriculum activities, but I was saying I didn't even have time for the basics. And that's when I knew it was a problem. I didn't have time to dance. Me. That's when I knew this was a problem. The gym, fine. Not eating, fine. But I didn't have time to dance. Me. That's a cause for concern. That's of course they should have gathered the family round and had a family meeting or something because me not having time to dance, you know the world is coming to an end. So I didn't even have time to dance. So I had to check myself to be like, yo, this ain't the life I'm trying to live. This ain't the life God's got for me. So after all of that happened, with the self reflection, with the journaling, I identified this. So the first step of feeling lost, like I said when I was in Tesco, I didn't know I was lost until I checked my surroundings. Is you have to self reflect. You have to be able to have some time to look objectively at your life, to see where it is, where are you going, what's stopping you from getting there? All of those things. You need to journal, you need to self reflect. This is not an overnight thing. This takes time. You'll start to see patterns. You'll start to see patterns and things that are happening. And that's when you'll know, okay, something is wrong. I need to do something about it. Secondly, you have to be willing to change. So you could identify that there's something wrong here, but you do not care to change. Like that woman I used as an example earlier on who said that she wasn't happy there. She was working there 20 plus years, but she wasn't happy there. And on top of it, she didn't want to do anything about it. You know, there's some people at work here, I bet you guys can relate, that they don't like the job, but they don't want to move because the greatest joy they have is complaining about how much they don't like their job, how much the system is messed up, how much this is not working, how much it used to be better, they took the money out, how much like you can't afford, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. Yeah, that is the job, not the job that you're getting paid to do. But some people don't like it, but they love to complain about how much they don't like it. Bro, complaining is not paying nobody's bills. I ain't never seen anybody's bills get paid from complaining. If that is a thing, send me a message. Send me a message. I'd love to see that. I would actually love to see that. Complaining is not paying your bills. Yeah? You have to be willing to change. And that's uncomfortable. People that like comfort, opposite of comfort is discomfort. Changing is uncomfortable. It's also inevitable. It will happen whether you like it or not. You just have to be on the right side of the change. So people don't like to change because comfort is what they know. They don't want to go into the unknown. So they'll stick to what they know. So after you've had that self reflection and you realize there's an issue, you must be willing to change. If you're not willing to change, stop the video right now. It's nearly about 20 minutes or so. Thank you for your time. You don't need to listen to anything else because it won't be useful to you at all. So be willing to change. Now, the third thing, once I realized this is an issue, this is an issue, this is an issue, this is an issue, I had to actually go back to the Lord. And it's so funny when you go back to the Lord, you're like, okay, so I'm back. I thought I could do this on my own. I can't. So I came back and I was like, all right, God, what are you telling me? and you don't get your answers right away. So seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. So you have to do all of that stuff first. So it's a journey, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it, because instead of actually focusing or hyper focusing my attention on the issues that I had, that I felt like I was out of alignment, I had to go back to my creator. The guy made me, so he's the only one that can tell me how I can get back into alignment. Do you get? Do you get? So I had to go back to the creator and be like, alright, God, what are you telling me? Seek in the Lord, seek in the Lord, seek in the Lord. And God took about 2 years or so, like on a self discovery journey, which, like I said earlier, it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable, but I was willing to change and to be transformed into the person who the Lord wants me to be. I'm not saying I've arrived. I've not arrived by any means. Every day I'm learning, but it went from a process of feeling discomfort and then getting excited about the change, because as you change, you start to see things differently. Options, things, opportunities, all of these things start to come. So I spent some time with the Lord. I did the self discovery journey. And in that self discovery journey, I was realizing who I was. I think this is so important. A lot of people are lost because they don't know who they are. They do not know who you are. One thing I always say, yeah, once you know who you are, nobody can try and tell you or try and no, they can't. They can't. A lot of people have got control over other people because they're telling them who they are. Once you know that for yourself, that control loses power. Loses power. I was learning who I was, and I was learning whose I was. Two very important things. Knowing who you are, number one, that's super important. Who are you as a person? And that came through, again, the journaling, English please, the journaling, the reflection that came through seeking the Lord, that came through all these different things that He started to make me do, that came through all of that. And then, secondly, whose you are. Whose you are. I'm a daughter of the Most High already. What does the word say about me? I'm a royal priesthood, His own special people. First of all, I'm royalty. Basically, I'm royalty. So, how does royalty act? You don't chat anyhow, you don't dress anyhow, you don't hang around in certain places. Like, no, I'm royalty. I'm His special people. Once you know these things, yeah, once you start acknowledging that this is the truth, this is your truth. Actually, I take that back. I don't believe in your truth, His truth, whatever. There's only one truth. Once you acknowledge that's the truth, yeah, and you start affirming yourself with these facts, because they are facts, then you actually know that you are more than what you see yourself. So, through that journey, that is the next step. Once you've identified you're ready to change, that's the next thing you need to do. Through that journey, you realize that God will tell you, as much as we don't give Him space to move, we're very restrictive when it comes. Even the 2x4 prayers that you say, man, like, you're limiting God. So we have to actually take a back seat and be like, yo, let your will be done, please. I'll put my seatbelt on. Let your will be done. So if you don't allow that to happen, you can actually limit God. That's not cute. That's not cute. Don't do that. Learn your giftings and your talents. Assess them. That comes through all the things that I said. Look at your giftings and talents, because the thing that you're aligned to, the thing that is your purpose or your will and that sort of thing, is aligned to your giftings and talents. Look at the things that you're good at. Look at, if you don't know, this is one thing that I say to people, if you don't know, Ask your family, ask your friends, ask people who are close to you, like, what do you think I'm good at? These things are things that will come effortlessly to you. You don't even have to think about it. It's just you. It's just who you are. Like, I can tell you for free, my gifting and talents are not in accounting. No, no. I can pack my bags right now. No, I don't even find it interesting. But I spoke to someone was it, a few weeks ago talking about numbers. He's getting so excited. Numbers, he likes working. I was just like, I didn't get it. I didn't get it because it's not for me. But for him, that was his thing. That was his thing. So there's certain things that you're good at. There's certain strengths that you have, qualities that you have, gifts that you have, talents that you have. There's certain things that you have that you can do really well in comparison to many other people. Like you can do that very well. Another one is, oh gosh, like reading. I didn't even like reading like growing up. I remember my parents saying to me, oh, like you need to read like so and so reading. I'm like, you don't know what else so and so is doing. But anyways, I'm not a snitch. Um, but yeah, I wasn't into reading. I used to, oh gosh, I used to watch the films. I used to put okay, quick story time. There was I think it was of mice and men or whatever. If my teacher sees this, anyways, I've passed GCSE now, it's too late. So of mice and men. And they gave us a book and I was like, oh, reading, not cool. I'm more creative. I don't like this reading, this number stuff, whatever. I still passed all my GCSEs with flying colours by God's grace. He took the pen himself because I don't know what happened there. Anyways, of my cement, she was like, oh, you don't have to read it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. I ain't gonna read it. I went on the internet and I found the film and I watched it and I watched it and I watched it and I watched it. I watched it so much like I knew it inside and out. I think it was like the next week, yeah. She was asking questions. Best believe my hand was up. I knew every answer. I knew, and when I was able to explain with passion because this movie was in my head. This movie was in my head, and she was so impressed because I've never taken interest into this book, and all of a sudden I know these things with passion. Like, yeah, Mice and Men. I don't still to this day I don't think I finished that book. But I watched the film and I can tell you all about it. What I'm trying to say is that's another thing. I know people who love reading. God bless them. I read the Bible. That's probably what else I read. Actually, I've got a book. A book. I've got books. So yeah, reading. People love it and they're very skilled and gifted in reading. That's not me. Again, that's not me. People have certain gifts and talents that they are good at that they need to explore. So people that are feeling lost, people that don't know what direction to take. A lot of it can come after you graduate. Some people, it's even before you graduate, you're like, I don't even know what course to choose. I should even do another video on that. But some people, it could be midlife, like you have a midlife crisis and you deep, what have I been doing for the last 4 years? I don't even know what I've been doing for the last 4 years. So it can come in different forms. What I'm trying to say is we're always running, so we don't have time to stop and think, and that's our problem. Like me in Tesco when I was 6, trauma. When I was 6 and I got lost, like I didn't know I was lost until I stopped and looked at my surroundings to realize, oh, where are my parents? And that's the same with us. We're always running. Stop, take time, reflect, look at your surroundings. Don't blame your circumstance. That can be changed. You have to start moving for that to change. But reflect on those things. Be willing to make a change. You have to have the readiness to change factor. Look to God and look within. Because the giftings and talents that you have are all within you. You don't have to look externally for these things. They are already within you. You've not taken time to know yourself, and that's the problem. So, I can't believe I spoke for that long. But anyways, guys, I hope that was useful to you. If it wasn't, thank you anyways for watching. I hope that I'll catch you guys very soon. I saw you guys do that on Instagram. Someone did that on Instagram. Anyways, ciao. Okay.